These findings were affirmed in 2020 in the report by the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then Chairman Marco Rubio.
That she decides to make this announcement right when Trump is getting in hot water for not releasing the Epstein file.
Why is Fox News trying so hard to pin a scandal on Obama while ignoring Trump's ties to Jeffrey Epstein? The timing is no accident, but their plan flopped harder than an overcooked pancake.
There was criminal misconduct by former President Obama, despite the fact of these investigations.
Let's unpack how this desperate distraction backfired. Big time. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Ever seen someone try so hard to cover something up, only to make it even more obvious?
You know, the Clinton campaign. Yep. So yeah, we need to look at this. This is a big deal.
It's a nasty web. I hope we stay on it.
That's exactly what Fox News is pulling off right now. Their brilliant idea? Jump into their time machine and revive an old scandal about Obama as if anyone asked for a 2010s flashback. Apparently, when faced with the mountain of Trump's legal battles, they thought, hey, maybe we can distract everyone by blaming Obama for, something.
Grand juries. What do you think the chances are of an indictment coming for Brennan, Comey, Barack Obama, or any of these guys?
Here's the problem, though. Their big accusation that the Obama administration staged some secret coup against Trump during the 2016 election. Yeah, that theory has been thoroughly chewed up, spit out, and debunked over the years. But Fox is acting like nobody remembers. Conveniently, they've skipped over a key detail. The actual interference in that election was done by Russia, not Obama.
The document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election.
Pretty hard to launch a coup when Senate intelligence reports, even ones led by Republicans, confirmed that Russia meddled to help Trump. Marco Rubio himself co-signed this in 2020, saying, "This wasn't fake news."
And unanimously agreed in a bipartisan fashion, Secretary of State Rubio was a member of that committee, that there was no political interference.
These findings were affirmed in 2020 in the report by the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then Chairman Marco Rubio.
Fox must have missed that episode. It's like watching a magician who accidentally drops the rabbit out of his hat early in the trick, but still insists you gasp in amazement. The stunts might fool a loyal audience desperate to believe, but to everyone else, they're a joke. And speaking of jokes, what's funnier than blaming Obama for imaginary plots while ignoring that Trump's team actually invited Russian help? Remember Don Jr. gleeful over those promised Clinton dirt emails? Fox doesn't. This distraction strategy isn't just failing, it's embarrassing.
There was a years-long Justice Department investigation into this as well that also concluded no political interference. So
they've wandered so far into the absurd that they're drawing attention to events Republicans themselves have already laid to rest. Every time they reheat this old story, it doesn't make Obama or even Democrats look worse. It circles right back to Trump like a bad boomerang.
Obama basically ordered his people to go look again and get a different result. And this begins to explain how crooked.
At this point, Fox trying to shield Trump is like holding up an umbrella during a hurricane. The harder they push, the more soaked they look. And maybe, just maybe, they're working overtime because what they really don't want to discuss is even stickier. Trump's infamous ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
It's beyond comprehension that we're talking about, and I understand that this Epstein situation is very tricky for the administration, and day by day it gets worse and worse and worse.
Now that's a rabbit they won't dare pull out of the hat. If Fox News is so concerned about uncovering scandals, it's funny how they've become totally blind to the guy they're defending. Let's talk about Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, a relationship messier than a toddler with spaghetti, and just as hard to clean up.
All of the greatest hits to try to inflame the minds of their most, conspiracy theory addled base so that
Trump himself once bragged about knowing Epstein for 15 years, even calling him a lot of fun to be with, and hinting in that creepy way only Trump can that Epstein likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. That quote aged worse than overripe milk. For a man who now claims he wasn't a fan of Epstein, Trump sure had a lot of suspicious links to him.
Yet that she decides to make this announcement right when Trump is getting in hot water for not releasing the Epstein file. After an Epstein scandal, for them to finally get to the bottom of all of this.
Let's start with that infamous lawyer, the same one who secured Epstein a cushy plea deal in Florida back in 2008. A deal that let Epstein walk free on charges so serious they'd make your stomach turn. Trump didn't just know about him, he hired him. Then there's Alexander Acosta, the U.S. attorney who approved that plea deal and later got a nice promotion from Trump as labor secretary. You've got to wonder if Trump was building some sort of Epstein damage control dream team.
Who gave Jeffrey Epstein that bizarrely lenient plea deal? Oh, Trump put him in his cabinet in his first term.
And as if that wasn't enough, let's not forget Epstein's suspicious death while in federal custody overseen by Trump's Department of Justice. Under Trump's watch, Epstein managed to evade justice permanently. That's a stain on Trump's administration that no amount of media distraction can bleach out.
And they get activated, and suddenly they won't be mad at Trump anymore for not releasing the Epstein files or whatever he had to do with any of it.
What makes it all worse is the way Fox twirls in circles to avoid ever mentioning this tangled web. The more they steer the conversation towards other scandals, the more noticeable it becomes that they're ignoring the elephant in the room, or should I say, on the Epstein flight log. Trump's connection to Epstein is like a ketchup stain on a bright white shirt. You can't unsee it, and trying to rub it out just makes it spread. Fox's attempt to bury it only makes everyone wonder why they're trying so hard. Their silence speaks louder than their distractions ever could. Fox News tried to pull off a grand distraction, but all they did was shine a spotlight on what they wanted buried. Their recycled Obama coup story, already debunked by Republican-led investigations, collapsed under its own weight. Instead of saving Trump, they've only reminded people of the unanswered questions surrounding his shady ties to Epstein. Hiring Epstein's lawyer? Promoting the prosecutor who let him off easy? Overseeing Epstein's death in custody? It's a disastrous resume Fox avoids like the plague. The takeaway? Distraction tactics don't work when the truth is this loud, and with Trump, the scandals aren't stopping anytime soon.